All right.
We are live again.
We are live again.
Hello, Internet.
The show.
Excellent. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Thank you very much for the patience. We just had a couple of quick things we had to take care of real quick. You know, admin, not our strong suit.
Damn straight.
All right. It meant at me, not at you. Like, I got the death glare of, like, I'm going to kill you.
I'm having absolutely nothing to do with you right now.
Very good. Alrighty. Well, then, Mr. Graham, you ready to do this?
Yep.
All right. Let's do it. I'd like you to be. I mean, hey, let's try this again. Mr. Graham, are you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Do we have to put our hands in the air? 1, 2, 3.
That's a defeated man.
Am I a better sad clown now? Does that help?
I was just hoping you'd be a little more energetic.
No. Fuck that shit.
If I give you $1, will you be more energetic?
No.
$20?
I'm on the 15th hour. Just fucking hit the button.
Hey, it's Brad Parker, Crystal Palace fan, and you are listening to the Drunkard United football show. It's a parade.
I know.
Stop. Tottenham scored.
Yeah, exactly. I know I did this.
Oh, shit, they scored again.
I did this last week, but, I mean, come on. They beat Brighton in the El Gatwico. I got to fucking open with this again, right? It's just
we have to
fuck with
them. Wait, it happened again.
Yeah, they scored again. Wait, Russell Martin's fired. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smell the Malört. Look straight in shorts. Sam Graham, hey.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football
It happened
Show.
for a fourth time.
Completely biased recap of the English Premier League is told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, my co-host, apparently playing the part of producer Mel tonight and raining hellfire and furious vengeance upon
trying
everyone.
to be the statistician down on the South
He's
Coast.
like-
It's all happening.
Co-host, Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how the hell are you, good sir?
Not bad. Just trying to make the show go faster. You know, that's pretty much Southampton Tottenham wrapped up in it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we've already covered it all. Now, we're not going to, on the ones and twos is producer Mel, but she doesn't need to chime in because she's literally using all of her hands and doing all of the fucking things right now. So I'm not going to ask too much of her, but good job, producer
A
Mel.
left-handed live video with a sweet fade out. That's pretty decent.
Thank you.
I'm impressed by
well,
that.
Considering I almost missed that and I missed the first fade out.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Shorbilly is watching us both on TikTok and on YouTube and Facebook. And we're not going to do the whole show on TikTok. We're just going to do bits and pieces.
Yeah. So if you want to
Because
actually...
here's the setup.
Right. If you want, you told me to do this and then promptly don't have, you're like, hold on, Sam, I want you to do exactly this. Move the camera away.
Don't worry about the camera. I told you, don't worry
Just
about
be natural, Sam. Be natural.
I'm telling the people on TikTok, if we leave the live and you want to come join us, that's really, really
Wait, hold on.
enjoyable.
His face is a lot right now. I have to say.
No shit. If you're enjoying us on the TikTok live and you want to see more of the show, like I said, right now we're just starting to experiment with this a little bit. Please come join us on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you like to stream. We're all over the place. Just hunt down DU Football Show and you can come check it out. But let's go ahead and get into it. Over there doing 1,000 things. Mr. Graham over here yawning, trying to stay
I
awake.
didn't yawn yet. Don't bring it up.
Yeah.
I might.
It's only a matter of time.
It's probably true.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcast. And, of course, streaming live every single Monday night and right now on TikTok Live as well. Should you want to chat with us, there's many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell
TikTok Live.
Tell the good people how they get in touch.
Am I supposed to do something now?
Pretty much. But you should be doing some dances and
I'm
shit.
supposed to do something here? I'm almost 40. I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
All right. Tell the good people how they get in touch.
All right, very easy. At DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email, which we say in all of our TikToks. So make sure you check that out.
Which is probably how you'll be talking to everybody, I'm sure, soon enough when
over the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, when you're
at
not
least
around.
Yeah.
Good news. The roster's all filled out. Got dates from everybody. Pretty much every date's taken care of. Where we are ready to rock and roll.
Awesome.
So it won't be the same without you, but we're gonna put up a good fight for you.
Yeah, it still just won't be the same, will it?
Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, it is the start of another Whisky Advocate Top 20 list. For those of you who are new to the show, we do this list every single year. We have done it for 5 straight years now. We've done this list, and we get every single bottle, and each week we review, counting down from 20 to 1 over the next 20 shows. So, Mr. Graham, what are we starting with today?
We are starting with the Westland Cask Exploration Wine Cask Finished Batch number 1. The MSRP for this is about $75, but I'm sure since it's recent accolade of number 20 on Whisky Advocates Top 20, you should be willing to pay up to about $90 for it at least.
I got it for 75, baby.
There you go.
Yep.
It is 92 proof or 46% by volume for those of you keeping track at home. It is an American single malt, and the panel rated it a 92, much like their proof.
Allow me to say the following real quick before you get into the write-up on it.
The blurb.
American single malt. An official category is recognized by the TTB that happened this past week.
Yeah, get in.
Does me no good considering I don't have a job with an American single malt company anymore, but it is now an official category. So tell us all about it, Mr.
And
Graham.
like I said, you should be willing to pay up to $115 for this bottle now because if they claim it, they got to stick to the rules. Which costs money. Anyway, your blurb for the number 20 whiskey in Whisky Advocates Top 20 comes to you from the tasting panel member Shane English, and he says about this whiskey, Westland is a leader in the American single malt scene, and this whiskey is a step forward for the style. For its wine cask finish, Westland uses Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Petit Verdot, Red Blend, and Tempranillo casks to create new depth. The nose is jammy with blackberries, raspberries, and baked apples. Grain sweetness and banana bread emerge with time. Actual time.
Yeah.
Seconds.
Heard. Okay. With time. Okay.
Not T-Y-T-H-Y.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. Gotcha.
Actual time. The sip shows apples, pecans, apricots, buttered popcorn, and vanilla malt. On the finish, there are tea tannins, cherry cough drops. I don't know that I got that from my first sip. And chocolate. Cherry cough drop sounds like it's going to be medicinal. I don't get that one
I don't
bit.
get medicinal at all.
No. I did get a bit of candied fruit there at the end. And maybe that's what he's talking about because cough drops tend to have a lot of sugar to them nowadays to make them more palatable.
True.
But I don't get that one bit. I much more lean towards the banana, the blackberry, the jamminess, that you would get from that Syrah barrel, really. I don't really get a ton of tannic quality like you would get from a cab finish. Like, we remember back in the day we did at Jefferson's. That may just lend it being bourbon, but
right.
That cab finish Jefferson's was very hot, very tannic, very acidic, actually. This is lovely. I don't find any of those qualities in this.
I do get a little bit of barbecue smoke in the nose.
Okay. In the nose, yeah.
Yeah, not in the flavor, but in the nose, which he didn't describe that at all. But I definitely get it. I get that little bit of kind of like vanilla buttercream thing going on in the palate. It's
this has a very Tempranillo nose to me. It smells very rustic. It smells very old. I like it.
That might be where I'm getting barbecue smoke is just kind of rustic.
Yeah.
You know, that could be what I'm getting out of it. It's very
It's almost
good.
mesquite.
So you'll see. Yeah. That's
It's almost
I
mesquite.
got a little barbecue.
Yeah.
Is what I got out of it.
Some of us grow with hickory, Sam.
Yeah, I know. I'm perfectly aware of that. And some with cherry or apple or pecan wood. You know, I'm sure Shore Billy's over there raving about all the different types.
He's
of
about to
woods
go
he smokes
outside and
with.
fire it up.
Yeah. Now,
Which I need to text him.
There's a few people that have started doing this in whiskey, American whiskey in general. And some call it like a Vinters Cuvée or something like that. But essentially what you're doing is taking your whiskey, finishing it in a bunch of different red wine barrels to then commingle and get like the best parts of a Cab to the best parts of a Tempranillo to the best parts of a Syrah, right? So it's not all just,
one note,
big fruit dry, or a big fruit tannin. It's like mild down, say like the tannins, because the whiskey already has a wood influence to it, and maybe amp up a little bit more of the cherry, and just figuring out ways to kind of balance those different wine barrels together to make it all commingle well and still have all of those wonderful wine qualities. Of course, this is based out of just outside of Seattle, Washington. So the Columbia Valley. There's some
closest
some great
competitor
wines.
to your former company.
Yeah, some great wines in Washington and Oregon that they can pull from, and honestly, probably some of the same wineries that my former employer also played from here.
Absolutely,
as well.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, fantastic way to start the list, and
it's lovely. It's delightful. It's not too hot. Yeah. It's not too cereal grainy, but you're drinking a malt-based whiskey.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And the wine influence is prevalent throughout the sip.
It
does what it says on the tin.
I'm excited to see what this does throughout the show on ice, and
same. I feel you there.
I also want to say this is a little precursor to this year's list. There's a lot of single malts from all over the world on this list this year.
Yes.
There is a lot of single malts.
And one time for the TikToks, before Sam asks me to do it, just because it's our first time here, remember to always drink responsibly. Okay?
Excellent.
That's important to us. Repeat business is the best business.
All right. Well, then, Mr. Graham, let's get into the fucking show, my friend.
Do it, man. Come on. It was a great weekend of the Barclays. Wasn't it?
It was except for our game, which was
that was not a good advertisement. No, that was not a good advertisement for the old Barclays.
We open with a couple of derbies that have been quite one-sided in recent history, but this weekend, the other side had something to say about it. Crystal Palace 3, Brighton 1, Manchester United 2, Man City 1. The Gatwico did not disappoint. It was a fucking fun match.
I can't let you slide without hearing that you almost said half. Mm-hmm. The other half.
The other half.
That's what you were going to do, and then you abandoned it and said the other side.
Well, it happens.
Which is good. I like that.
Yeah,
that's sexy.
I'm here for it. That's
Say half next time. I was getting a bit of a chubby.
Okay.
No, it did not disappoint. It was awesome. But it was a perfect game from a Palace point of view, wasn't it? They weathered the early storm because Brighton did come out of the gates decently. But they grew into the game well, Palace. As I said, that Brighton had the better of the opening chances. But once Chalobah scored, it was a bit of a sucker punch, to be fair. Palace did have a chance or two, but to be honest, it was against the run of play when Chalobah's goal went in.
The first thing I have written is Palace are optimistic, despite the fact that the Seagulls pretty much dominated.
Yeah.
The Seagulls had possession, they had control of the match, and then it was like, oh shit, we're down 1-0.
But then Palace went, oh fuck, they're shook.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And 6 minutes later, they scored again.
Yep, made it 2-0.
And it was, again, just a great goal from Ismail Assar. It was fantastic. That platform gave Palace the impetus for the rest of the half, really, because they then took over and Brighton retreated within themselves.
But Brighton had to answer in the second half. They came out.
Oh, starting the second half, they were fucking flying.
And Nicole's boyfriend, Mr. Dean Henderson, had himself a day in the net.
Now it was only bettered. I thought when I saw this, I was like, oh wow, what a great game for the goalkeeper. I showed it to Tegan. My oldest daughter, for those that don't know, is the backup varsity goalkeeper as a freshman, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to show her this one. Well, that was until Emi Martinez did what he did, and then fucking today, Fabianski. No detractors to the former Arsenal player after today. Fucking, what was it, 11 saves?
And
come on.
And Kepa didn't look half bad down on his end.
That's
for the
what I'm saying.
Cherries either.
It was what a weekend for goalkeepers.
I know.
Like, even with all the goals that were scored, it was absolutely fantastic from Hendo in this one. Obviously, it was a defensive mix-up late on that saw Sarr ultimately put the game to bed with the third goal, and then Brighton got their consolation.
Here's my question to you. Who does the own goal
Palace
hurt?
also scored that one.
I was going to say, who does the own goal hurt more? Does it hurt Palace because they really wanted to shut out Brighton, or does it hurt Brighton because Brighton smashes Palace all day long, and the only way they get the ball in the back of the net is when Palace puts it in there
Palace do it for them. Yeah. It hurts. It does hurt. I mean, you know, it's obviously your biggest rivals, even though it's a manufactured derby, but it is what it is. And they lost the game. I mean, Brighton just were second best most of the time.
You put the respect on the El Gatwico it motherfucking deserves. Do you hear me? You give that damn yes.
Yeah, good. So we're talking about NK Dons next then? Because
here's my final question for you.
Another manufactured derby.
Brighton, first and foremost, in a little bit of a slide. Do we think Palace is finally turning this thing around?
I think they are turning a corner. It seems like they've tried to figure out, obviously losing Joachim Anderson. We've spoken about this ad nauseum over the last, 15 weeks now.
Yeah.
They seem like they're starting to figure it out. This is what we thought Wolves was going to do.
Right.
I think.
Right. This is also the team we thought that Palace was. We thought this was a team that would be competing for the top 10. They're starting to look like that now.
Yeah. They're too far out of the top 10 to compete for the top 10. But, yes, I agree. But again, like I said, we Wolves had a very difficult start to the season. We'll come on to them, obviously, and properly with their fixtures. But we said after a few weeks ago when they strung a couple of results together, I think Wolves were unbeaten in 4. And then they turned around into what was supposed to be the easy time.
And
shit the bed, right?
Whooped
Palace
by Everton and then lose a couple more.
Conversely, Palace has gone, okay, now we have our shit together.
Right.
And that's why Ollie Glasner still has a job and Gag O'Neill doesn't.
Yeah, pretty much. The Manchester derby already had interest before the match even started because you had on City's side only 3 healthy defenders.
Yeah.
No one on the bench, just 3 healthy defenders. Yeah. That's what we're playing with.
Good luck. Yeah.
And then United left out a couple of players who didn't even come with the squad. And it's 2 players who have played quite a bit. And I think it was definitely whatever the fuck his name is sending a message because Marcus Rashford and Garnacho both completely left out of the squad for the Manchester derby.
Yeah. Also, apparently Garnacho's either cousin or agent or somebody closely related to Garnacho is somebody who's been accused of leaking team information before.
Ooh.
And the fact that Garnacho and Rashford weren't going to be in the squad, also coincidentally, every time Garnacho is absent from the squad itself, this information gets leaked.
Ooh, okay.
This friend or colleague or whoever he is has said that he had no involvement this time. But Saturday night, everybody knew the Manchester United team for the following day.
Right, of course.
On Sunday.
The players know that. Of course they do.
No, the public.
Oh, the
because
public
it was leaked again.
Because it was leaked again.
And Amarin said that he's going to have a conversation with all these people.
Right.
The game itself, I thought most of the time was pretty drab.
Oh, yeah. It was not a very good game.
Manchester City facing Manchester United looked like Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Except for if Jake Paul was half bent and couldn't stand up straight. Because United didn't offer a goddamn thing.
No, they did not. Not
it
one
was
bit.
not a good game. The first 20 minutes especially were absolutely shit. I made a point after watching part of this to look at a stat that I don't really put much weight in, but a lot of people seem to nowadays. XG, the old expected goals.
Right.
After the first 20 minutes, Manchester City had a .03. Would you care to guess how much Manchester United was?
0.01.
No, 0. Not even that. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Fuck me. That was a chore, those first 25, 30 minutes.
It was not easy.
Absolutely pitiful, that.
It was a tough watch.
Finally, Gvardiol decided to do what he did, and even that looked like a goal that was scored by accident. It's like, oh, the ball's here.
You're like, holy shit. Header, goal. Look at that. We're up 1-0.
Oh, shit. It didn't look like he expected it to be there, but it was a decent looping header. He did react well. Fair play to him. But it just overall was just a shit game. Manchester United were tepid. They were slow. Almost as slow as both of our teams were, which we'll come on to
that soon
in
enough.
a brief 2 sentences when we get there. But
They ain't gonna know what to say about that one.
They were quite slow. They didn't really do much, to be completely honest. It wasn't great. Wasn't super pleased with it. My favorite meme of the weekend, though, was the meme of Kyle Walker in the hospital bed. Mm-hmm. Really enjoyed that. All good after the attempt on his life that Rasmus Højlund had. It's him in a hospital bed doing the thumbs up. Fucking fantastic.
It felt like once it hit about the 75th minute,
Yeah.
that City was just going to try to hold on. Their substitutes kind of dictated
big
that,
time.
And it just looked like they were going to pack it in and try to hold on.
But they even moved to this weird back five system with Mateus Nunes, who ended up giving away the penalty, which I'm sure is what you're coming on to, was playing wing back.
Yeah.
Well, he's been playing on the left side of midfield, really, unless Doku was in the squad, so he was playing on the right today, but, the day the game was played, rather, yesterday. But it's what a pitiful, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And there you go.
What are you doing?
And in 2 minutes,
There's nobody around him.
And then essentially in 2 minutes, the whole fucking match changed.
Yeah. He wasn't even moving.
Yeah.
He trapped the ball and stood still. And you just clatter into him.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
I mean, yes, Ederson was out of position, but you didn't have to just run him over. I also think that's probably the case that he isn't in the right position and doesn't know exactly what to do and how to fucking tackle the guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's
scenario.
well, exactly right. And it just speaks to Pep panicking, really, is what it looks like, is Pep is panicking. He's putting people in positions they're not used to. He's changing the way that he's trying to play. He's doing things in his system that he's not normally doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed. They've got, what, 1 win, maybe 2 wins in 11 or 12, something like that. It's just not good, man.
Oh.
It just really isn't good.
Fernandez equalizes. We often say
from the penalty spot. Be fair,
right? We don't like Bruno Fernandes.
He did a lot of fucking crying this game too.
But we'll give him credit for a derby. The just stop, turn, look right at the Manchester City supporters, just go, huh? What?
That's not a bad celebration.
Like,
yeah,
huh? It was pretty fucking great.
Yeah, it's not
on
a
the
bad
shit house level. I very much enjoyed.
Absolutely,
that.
I'm sure Jamie Vardy was proud as well,
despite the fact that he's a fucking dumbass. And then what happens right after that, Mr. Graham?
It was about 2 minutes, I guess. Fucking Route 1, Sam Allardyce football, ball over the top. Defenders misjudge it. They think Ederson's coming. He didn't come. They weren't. Excuse me. It was a back pass, wasn't it? It was Route 1 to the wing.
Yeah.
And the defender dealt with it, sort of. Back pass, Looper, not well. Amad Diallo, who's the only United player to show any real impetus most of the game.
Right.
Steals in, great first touch to loop over Ederson, who hesitated coming out, found himself in no man's land, and then hits a volley with decent pace. It was a fine, strike to get it on target with his off foot. Like, okay, great, well done. My problem, and he scores, obviously. My issue with the entire thing is Gvardiol. Like, as a defender, I'm offended by how Gvardiol decided to defend this.
Try to back heel.
What are you doing?
Like,
just touch the ball out.
Get a foot on the ball.
If they come back and score it, fine. You did your job, though.
Get rid of the goddamn ball.
What are
Sorry,
you doing?
Russ.
But he's running at his own goal. Fair enough. You don't want to put it in your own goal.
Right.
Why are you trying to backheel it?
Exactly.
Just stick a boot out, stop it. Onana comes and gathers. Or Ederson comes and gathers.
Right.
It's not a pass. You can pass it. You just blocked it.
What the hell is Pep doing switching the keepers back and forth?
Don't know.
I think he's
Ederson. What's he doing? Cutting himself with his own fingernails. I mean, we're in uncharted territory here.
He should. If you're going to go ahead and go with Ortega, you go with Ortega, and you let maybe Ederson play the Champions League games. But
Ederson's not the problem, though.
Yeah. But he was this match. Both of those goals were preventable. If his ass doesn't come flying all the way out, maybe Nunez doesn't go in.
No, here's the problem. Ederson's not the problem. Ederson was put in a situation where he was asked to do something he's not normally used to do. Mm-hmm. City, as a team, as a collective, is the problem. City do not have the possession they normally have. They do not. If they have the ball, you can't score. Mm-hmm. That's how they've played. That's how every Pep team's played.
Right.
You go to Barca, you go to Bayern, you go here.
Right.
That's how they've played. They have not been able to hold possession. There's passes being overhit. There's passes being underhit. There's sloppiness going on. There's injuries happening that people that it's seemingly innocuous. They're asking to come off the field. They don't look like they want to be there. They don't look like they're buying in at the moment. And the problem for City and what's going to happen is they just signed Pep to a 2-year extension. They also have these now 130 because they've added 15 more charges. 130 charges hanging over their head, and they may not be able to replace a fucking soul. And these people don't look like they're buying in anymore.
No.
The amount of attacking talent you have on that field, and you mustered, 2 shots on target the entire fucking game?
Yeah.
Not good, man.
Yeah.
It's not good. Something is sour in that camp. They need some refresh. They need something different. It seems like people have stayed too long at the party. Mm-hmm. Pep included.
Yeah.
Potentially. And things don't look like they're going to improve quickly for them, in my opinion. But that's all part of being humble and shit, you know?
We do have on a positive for them. Kovacic is healthy and was on the bench, so that could.
He came on in this game.
Yeah,
and after he came on, Manchester United scored twice, so well done. That fixed it.
I think that might help them from the starting.
Eventually, I'm sure
point,
it will, yes.
Obviously, Manchester City's in a free fall right now, but for United, what do you take out of this? Do you think this is a major step forward, or is this just
they're still fucked?
We're just gotta keep it going.
They're still fucked. It should have been better, and it wasn't. Manchester City were there for the taking, and United took 2 moments of absolute brilliance from one singular player to get it done. As collectively, they're not there yet.
Sometimes matches don't need a storyline. Sometimes they just need to be fun.
They are fun.
Fulham 2, Liverpool 2, Forest 2, Aston Villa 1. Back-to-back draws for the Reds and back-to-back draws for Fulham. But somehow they each feel a little different, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
For the Reds, it's like, oh, shit, we've dropped points here a couple times. Or for Fulham, you go, yeah, we just drew Arsenal and
but away at Liverpool. Yeah,
we just did that.
Arsenal was at least in their building.
Yeah,
right. This was at Anfield.
Yeah,
and a straight red for Andy Robertson.
Thoughts on that? Do you think that Virgil van Dijk was potentially last defender?
He's not fast.
I don't think he was either. I think that there was some commentary that was like, well, he was there, and it's like the ball was going right towards him. The ball was only going right towards him because Andy Robertson tackled the guy and the ball shot out.
It was a very heavy touch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that ball would not have been touched like that if there wasn't a tackle.
Obviously, Pereira got things going before Liverpool went down to 10 men with a phenomenal fucking goal to open the scoring, to be completely fair to him. And then Fulham were obviously boosted by that straight red. But Fulham didn't take the chances they were given there. I think they hit the post once. I think Jimenez did some weird chip over Allison that ended up going wide.
Yeah.
Looked really cool for the beginning of the highlight package until the rest of the shot played out.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have Liverpool coming back into it through Gakpo, and then obviously Salah, but not before it was. No, excuse me, it was Jota that scored, wasn't it? But Rodrigo Muniz with one of the goals of the season, in my opinion.
Oh, gorgeous
fantastic flick around Allison. Was brilliant. Little, very, very, very tidy. Super happy with that one. But I spare a thought. For Cuenca. I think he's made 3 substitute appearances this season. First start for Fulham.
Right.
Against fucking Liverpool at Anfield.
Right.
And Jota sent him for a fucking hot dog.
Yeah.
He definitely zigzagged, and Cuenca zigged when he should have zagged.
Oh, yeah.
And he went the wrong way. It was not good. And Jota finished well to draw Liverpool level, and that's obviously how it finished. But it was wonderful from Fulham. I mean, they're absolutely fucking flying. This has Roy the Boy back in the day going to the Europa League final. Remember this? Written all over it. I mean, Fulham's having a fucking season, and I like it. They're, very polite down there. Very nice to everyone. They deserve it. And then they can go back to the championship in 2 years, and it'll be fine.
Marco has this team humming.
That was for you all.
Marco has this team humming. They are definitely, I think, poised to be in the discussion for a European spot.
Yeah.
I think
There's no reason they shouldn't. And you know what?
They're not afraid of anyone.
McRib, they could fucking win the thing.
Oh, God, yeah, they could.
As long as Chelsea are in it next season also. Because
Right.
Chelsea are walking away with that motherfucker this year.
Oh, my God, they're killing everybody.
So Chelsea played a team in the Europa Conference League this year called FC Noah. And they've scored a goal for every species on the planet 2 times over. Just like the Ark. And if that's the case, then Fulham could absolutely get it done, in my opinion.
The only silver lining right now for the Reds is while
I was worried how it was going to be funny today.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing pretty goddamn good.
So the one
Considering.
thing that the Reds can at least take away from dropping points here is that pretty much everybody else except for Chelsea are dropping points too.
Yeah.
That's the one thing they got going for them.
The one happy thing, from my perspective as well, is Chelsea are so young. Now, they seem clued up now. They seem pretty organized and things happen.
You did too a few years ago, and you
Right.
lost a 10-point lead.
But you run into a little bit of an injury crisis, or something happens that changes the team just enough. I feel like Chelsea have the best chance of any one of us to drop points the rest of the season, really. Right?
Right.
So I'm not so concerned about their surge yet. I don't think Liverpool should be either, because Liverpool have amassed such a point lead that even after 2 pretty piss poor results, they still find themselves 2 points clear with the game in hand.
Right.
Against, arguably, no disrespect, a relative struggler. So you got to figure that's a 5-point lead, right?
Right.
I think they're still pretty safe from Chelsea.
Right.
Because Chelsea still could come against some adversity this season. Will they is the question. I mean, that's why we still play the games, right? We'll see what happens. But I feel confident Chelsea are going to drop some points at some stage. I don't think they're ready to really. I mean, Cole Palmer against us, for instance, a few weeks ago was absolutely fucking anonymous.
Right.
I don't know that they're necessarily ready collectively to step up and be a major, major player. Are they good enough to beat the teams they're supposed to beat? Yeah. Is that enough to get you the title? No. Are they title contenders? Yes.
Yes, producer.
Keith Kerm. Hey, Graham, you should be concerned with Chelsea.
No. I'm
Right,
not
well,
worried
there you
about
go, Keith.
I don't worry about
Well,
Same way I wasn't concerned with y'all. Look where y'all are now. Vindicated. # vindicated. Saudi money.
For
and all that.
being a scoreless first half, Villa and Forest was absolutely frenetic. It was a crazy fucking game. Especially, I mean,
Villa Forest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. All over the place.
I enjoyed it to a point.
I heard someone today. I'm going to let you. This is the only thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
Because it was brought up today. You remember David Seaman against, I think it was Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday. Ball was behind him. He reaches back. He's got his ponytail flowing in the wind, and he claws that ball out from the goal line.
Yeah.
They were saying that, and fair dues, today's game's faster. The technology's a bit different. The ball's a bit different. Emi Martinez's little claw on the goal, and it was
behind the
underneath of him.
back.
Yeah,
Like-
his little claw off the goal line was better than that one. And I heard somebody say they're never going to reference David Seaman's save again because of this.
Wow.
And what I have to say is go fuck yourself. It was decent, but it wasn't that.
It was pretty good.
That guy still ate pies.
Producer Mel,
Yes.
what flavor would you care for?
Damn.
Wait, where's the
Before her
Malört
analysis,
selection?
that's
Here,
what
take
you're
the,
doing?
I'm just
the
going to
camera.
pour it while she's talking. That's all.
Take the camera and show the Malört selection. Let's go with bourbon. I mean, the barrel aged.
Barrel aged, okay.
Here, I got you here. If you want, I'll just do the whole goddamn thing while you're all pouring. This is cool. I like this. This is. I wasn't worried about the camera before.
Right.
I am enamored with the technology we
Well,
got surrounding
When
the
I had
camera.
more time to set it up, that's actually got a gyromeister in it. So if you turn it, it'll recorrect itself. But I didn't get that charged because I
Nice.
didn't have this idea until an hour before.
John,
Okay, this is great.
But the more we go live on TikTok, the more
The
that
more
they
we
will
can
let
do
more
this.
viewers will let us do it. Then they'll let us
Yeah.
stream the show. But we have to start doing it to get more rewards and
All right,
a fucking fleeting touch.
I like
yes, that's right. Mel, tell us about a fucking fleeting touch.
Fucking fleeting touch. So Morgan Rogers going in the box with the ball, and he is grabbed by the Forest player, and VAR looks at it, and VAR decides it is, quote, a fleeting touch.
it. Fucking yanked his arm
they
back, man.
fucking yanked his arm.
It's not a fleeting
Like
touch.
in the discussion with the commentators, they're like, that was a very invasive touch, and we're not sure where the disconnect in dialogue is coming, where they on VAR will call it a fleeting touch.
I mean, it literally could have pulled his arm
That's
out
a
of
fleeting
socket.
touch.
Yeah.
Not the shit that they did. And so we were robbed right there a point. So this should be a tie. And
Now, John Duran did get the start. He also
Fuck,
scored
he's
the goal
awesome.
right after Emmy made that save.
And
Yeah.
what a fucking phenomenal header that was, by
I
the way.
love John Duran.
Great header, by the
And
way.
here you go. You think Villa's got it all under wraps. You feel like they're going to get it done, and then
See, I
Forrest
got two cameras and I don't
Not
know which one
as-
to look
I
at.
know.
not as
I did that too.
quickly, not as quickly as United did it, and maybe not as surprising, but still impactful. Turn around, get 2 goals, walk out 2-1, smash and grab. How you doing? How's your father?
Yeah, but it's Chris Wood, isn't it?
Yep.
And then Anthony Alenga, when he came on, he changed the game for me.
Oh,
He was
absolutely.
very, very direct. He was absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be some, especially with Shorebilly, who's watching both streams right now. There's going to be some Twilight Zone shit between my camera and this camera. Just fucking going nuts. But Mel, you have a
Yes.
responsibility to the
I
viewers.
do.
Real quick, I do want to preface this since there's TikTok people who aren't familiar with how we go about doing this. If our team loses, that is, if Arsenal loses, if Everton loses, or
Edgar
if
L562 just joined,
yeah,
and Larry Thomas pinned it. I
Okay,
think.
well, allow me to.
Sweet.
Okay,
Hello, guys.
Let's not get obsessed with that. Let's finish what we're talking about
I'm
here.
not good at this. I shouldn't have
do,
this.
You have to do a shot of Malört if your team loses. Mel has chosen the barrel-aged Malört today because we have barrel-aged Malört.
Show
we
the-
have
show the normal
original.
bottle.
I've already showed
already
them
did
all.
that.
Oh, okay.
Already showed them all.
right.
The again, let's. I am.
I told you I
fucking-
shouldn't have the camera. So
know.
go ahead.
Fuckers, I am grabbing back this wheel and driving this goddamn bus. You two are out of fucking control right now. Jesus Christ.
Sorry,
It's
show
just-
title's going to be TikTok.
It's just a live fucking stream. We'll be all right, okay?
It's nobody we know either.
It's going to be gone on January the 19th anyway. Settle the fuck down, right? You're
Oh,
yanking
shit, I
it.
better get my dances in. Gotta make sure. Go ahead.
Producer Mel, please
Yes.
do your shot. And you want to probably turn it that way on her.
All right, we're
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, a fleeting touch my ass, up the Villa. You know, we did well in the Champions League, and I'm okay with it.
Shorebilly just wants me to mention his name. He's liking it every 5 seconds.
Also-
That's how you take a shot of Malört like a fucking professional.
There you
Yeah,
go.
You know
Please
how
take this back.
that's one of those things that everybody is doing the Malört. I'll have another, but they can't get through it. I'm like,
Yeah,
I've
you know
seen-
what? Give me a little halfie real quick because I want to make sure I can say I have another. This is a big thing going on lately. This is absolutely
Malört thing?
ridiculous for me. And our game actually deserves us taking a shot of Malört. Doesn't
It
it?
does.
It was that bad.
Deserves you taking a shot on Malört, not me.
It was exactly what
lost
you
the-
wanted.
You lost the game. He won the
So
game.
here's the Malört, and real quick, I've had 2 glasses of this scotch, and I've had a bit of this beer already. Jepson's Malört. I'll have another.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not hard. Oh, it's such shit. It's like
Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that
Hold on,
happened.
I'm going to end the live, so tell them
Wait.
to follow the show on YouTube.
Follow the show on YouTube.
At DU Football Show on all the social medias, guys. Follow us, please, please, please. Facebook, YouTube. Come check us out. See you soon.
Yeah, thank you. I will edit that. And give me a
Welcome
good
back,
break.
faithful listeners. We're here for you now. Oh, sorry.
And go.
Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Arsenal 0, Everton 0, Ipswich 2, Wolves 1, Newcastle 4, Leicester 0, Chelsea 2, Brentford 1, Spurs 5, Southampton 0, Bournemouth 1, West Ham 1. Arsenal Football Club and Everton Football Club played a professional match in the English Premier League this past weekend.
I mean, I guess we have to say something. Pickford had 5 saves. 3 of them were routine. Just yuck. One of the most boring games in the Premier League I've watched since we sat live for Arsenal West Ham, and I fell asleep during the game.
Yeah.
In the Emirates.
Yeah, in the Emirates.
Together.
Yeah, it was...
Pitiful. It was a bad game.
We did exactly what we wanted to do. We did exactly what we wanted to do.
100% you did.
If you can't score, you can't win. You didn't score.
So we didn't win.
It's just that simple.
But
And
we didn't
Arteta-
try to score, which was the annoying part.
Yeah, Arteta came out afterwards and was like, "We deserve to win that game." It was
They
like,
didn't.
What did
They
you?
didn't.
What did you do that actually showed any
He has to say that.
attempt for the like?
He has to say that. It's a PR thing. He has to come out and say that. It's bullshit.
If
He doesn't believe that.
If anything, Everton deserved to fucking smash and grab just to be dicks about it because
No,
that's how
you didn't
bad
deserve
Arsenal
that either.
looked.
You didn't deserve that either.
Arsenal looked terrible.
Yeah, but you barely had a foray beyond midfield. You didn't deserve that either.
We didn't have to. We just didn't have to.
The game was garbage. I can count on one hand how many times I said this to you that day. How many times we passed the ball beyond a player.
Mm-hmm.
Most of what we did was center back to right back to right wing back, or right winger to right-sided central midfielder, right-sided central midfielder to striker to left-sided central midfielder, left-sided central midfielder to left winger, left winger to left back to left-sided center back.
And all our defense did was go.
Was just easy shift and no
Shift
fucking problem.
left to
what
right
you
and
what
left
you
to right.
do against a low block is you go right wing or right back rather, excuse me, to left wing or to left wing back
Right.
or left back.
Move it around a lot.
Right. And a direct pass that gets your entire team to have to shift.
Yeah.
Somebody could lose a marker. Somebody could, oh, fuck, I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this. And running that 15 yards or 20 yards to their new needed defensive position. And that left wing back should then take no more than 2-3 touches. That touch should be into a striker, immediately surpassing the rest of the midfield. That striker then lays the ball off. Then that ball gets passed beyond to somebody else. And now defensively, you're fucking, God, where are they going? What do we do? And that creates pockets of space that we should have been, and we have done for the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons, exploited pretty fucking well. All accounts, but we never created the space to do it. It was so slow. It was so slow.
Your only
it was
real
ugly.
efforts on target were from Everton mistakes in the first half that Pickford made nice saves on.
Yep.
That was it. That was, I mean,
Wait, that one at the start of the second half.
yeah.
We talked about
that
too.
one you created.
But that was it.
but
It's
the
just
two
like,
in
what
the
are you
first
guys
half
doing?
Were Everton mistakes that led to those shots.
It
and that
was so slow. It was absolutely pitiful. I'm done talking. We talked too much
We
about
are.
it. It was terrible.
Sloppy match from Ipswich and Wolverhampton, and just flat out a comedy of errors how that first ball went in the net.
It absolutely was. I mean, they thought the job was done when Totti cleared the ball at the line, right? Except for he cleared it off the back of Doherty, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It just trickled into the back of the net.
Just, well, look at that.
Just like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they storm back. They play very, very well. Wolves, to be completely fair to them.
They played
They
well
created
enough to win. They should have
created
won.
the chances. Yeah, absolutely.
They played really well.
But then didn't. I mean, Cunha beat the keeper near post. Fine. We've all had our problems with Muric. It's not good. Yeah. If Ipswich stay up, I see a landing spot for Aaron Ramsdale real quick. To be completely honest, who is somebody that I hope finds a landing spot in the Premier League. Because Muric just ain't the guy. To be honest with you. But that brought Wolves level, and they actually did try to push for a winner. But after that goal, they didn't really create what I felt like was a clear-cut, proper opportunity.
Right.
To be honest, Ipswich kind of buckled down and just went, weather this 5 minutes, and then we'll push. And they did, and they found their fucking winner.
And when you know it, Wolves' defense lets them down again. A wide open header.
Oh, yeah.
God, how can you let that guy be that open?
It was ridiculous. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. But then also further bad decision making. And Ryan Aitnuri gets sent off for dissent in stoppage time.
Yeah.
Like right before, if not at the final whistle.
Yeah.
Yelling at the officials. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And
he's a crucial player for them. If Cunha is their best player, Aitnuri is their second best player.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now he's suspended next game.
Yeah.
Now he's suspended next game for a double yellow.
Yep.
It's stupid, man. It's stupid all around. And it's sad, but it's no surprise that Gag was let go.
Yeah.
Because he seems like one of the better young British coaches. He really does. Seems like he's fairly organized. But I don't know if he's lost a dressing room. I don't know if... I still, for the life of me, I've been saying this, and I don't really mean any disrespect to him. Max Kilman couldn't have meant this much to a defense.
No, he couldn't have.
Especially the way West Ham have started, right? He couldn't have meant that much to a defense.
Yeah, he couldn't have been that massively important.
What's happening?
Yeah, it's tough. And, well...
Excuse me, Jose Sa looking like... ridiculous.
Well,
so Johnstone comes back in, obviously, in this game. We talked about Sa and his recent travails. But he was a very good goalkeeper in this league. Like, what happened to him? How did it seems like this season started and Wolves just went, yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah.
I'd fancy a season in the championship.
Yeah, it just not good. And
they had one of the toughest starts of a Premier League season, which is why Gag got so many games.
Right.
And they went on that little unbeaten run we spoke about earlier in this show. They had that little four or 5 games, whatever it was, unbeaten run. I think they picked up 7 points, and then it was supposed to get easier, and they've lost 4 straight.
Yep.
It's like, what are you guys on about?
And this is a team that's already got some financial problems, and their owners don't want to spend money, and they just had given Gags a 4-year extension.
Yep.
So who are they?
They now have to pay that out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And are they going to go try to get like a Moyes type to try to survive? Because I figure they want to try to survive.
I have a good line from another podcast.
Oh, yeah?
There are names being talked about. Devin Moyes is one. A very far outsider at this stage. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the bookie's favorite at the moment.
Wow.
He was at Wolves this weekend. He is the bookie's favorite. He was asked why he was there. He said he's good mates with Kieran McKenna from their time together at Manchester United as players. But you've had loads of times to go see Kieran McKenna at Ipswich.
And yet you're seeing him
And because you're without a job. But all of a sudden you show up here and you know the manager's under pressure and you're the favorite to take the role.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Apparently, and I'm sure Jorge Mendes has had something to do with this, old Georgie boy, who turned this club into his super agents club. Saudi pro manager Vito Pereira, I think is his name, who has managed in Germany to no great record, China, Saudi Arabia, where he is currently, Brazil 2 times, and and that one was surrounded by a huge amount of controversy. He took charge of Corinthians, seemed fairly well liked, put in his resignation kind of unannounced to take care of his mother-in-law who was very ill back in Portugal. Only to a month later take charge of Flamengo in Brazil, one of Corinthians' rivals. And then did a really shit job there and got canned a couple of months later. So burned bridges with two sets of supporters in the same country.
Right.
Very just strange person, but he is what seems to be the person that they're in advanced talks with, even though he's not the bookie's favorite, which is Ole. And but he managed in Turkey for a bit. Like, he's just a bit of a mad guy. So for this show, fantastic.
Put it right in our
fucking
hands.
Yeah, please
Right
sign him up to a 10-year deal so we could do a wee shuffle at Crystal Palace like Pards did. I'd love every second of it.
We're gonna need something to talk about in the EFL show next year, so that'll be great.
And see what this cunt gets up to. It's gonna be phenomenal. But it's just not. It's not good at Wolves at the moment. There seems to be a lot of disjointed thinking, a lot of disjointed. Just even on the pitch, just what they're doing. Gag didn't teach them to do that. They just did that shit on their own, and it's just not great. But good on Ipswich. Well done.
Yeah.
I feel so bad we didn't actually really talk about them.
Well,
but
we still got 4 more to talk about. I want to wrap it up quickly. Magpies just absolutely fucking dominate, and the Leicester defense is just dog shit.
Yeah.
And that's with Voutface on the bench.
Yeah, I'll just say this. I mean, it was fairly straightforward. 4 shots and just 1 on target from Leicester in the game. That conversely is Newcastle 27 shots to 11 on target. However, their possession was only separated by about 11%. Newcastle were so efficient. They were exactly what you would expect from an Eddie Howe team. The problem with that is, why can't they do that every week?
Yeah.
Because they do possess the quality to do that.
That's
they
what you
just don't.
That's what you wonder. Was this a good win for Newcastle, or was this Newcastle just beating a bad team?
So the last thing I said about that, well, since Rude took charge, Leicester were unbeaten in 2.
Right.
I mean, you got to imagine that he maybe put them together a bit. Especially given that, again, outside of football,
right,
they went on that Christmas party and had that sign that said, "We miss you, Enzo," in the club, which is weird. I still don't get it. But the final sentence I wrote were, Newcastle were excellent, but did they really need to be? Because Leicester were that bad.
Yeah, they
in
just
this
were.
game.
They were horrible.
Did they just resort to type? I mean, the 3 games into his tenure, I'm not prepared to say. So I guess we just have to wait and see if that's going to be just how Leicester is.
It's going to be a struggle for Rude. It really will be.
I feel bad for him because I really did think they had the best chance of staying up. They had the most Premier League operators in their squad of the promoted sides.
Yeah. Well, you see what Ipswich just did, and you start to wonder, maybe Ipswich can do it.
That's what happens when you include an entirely Spurs midfield.
Yeah, that would probably do.
You don't tend to win shit.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Sorry, mate.
Chelsea now find themselves in second place. It was a win.
The only thing I wrote down, it's really, this one was really a weird watch, right? Chelsea played really well, but I feel like they were a bit fortunate still because Brentford had a lot of chances. They hit the post once. I think they had the crossbar as well, underside of the crossbar that stayed out. Brentford played really fucking well in this game. And
good showing for being on the road.
Yeah,
for them,
right, about 2 miles down the road at the most.
But they've been miserable on the road this season. So,
absolutely correct.
So in somebody else's building to actually put up a performance is encouraging for them.
But this is also where I say I feel like Chelsea have the best chance of dropping points.
Yeah,
because they the way they've been playing, Brentford should not have been in this game, but they were in this game.
Their next match is a game they don't typically win. And I'm not sure this young team's going to do it either.
Also,
they don't like to win at Goodison. They love to fuck it off at Goodison. They fuck it off at Goodison a lot.
Also, Flecken gave up a near post goal. to Nico Jackson that Flecken doesn't normally give up in this game.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit strange, that one, to be honest. Something's off in the water in Westland, and you know, I'm not sure this is a fair result necessarily.
Almost thought 9-0 was going to happen for a third time, Mr. Graham. What was it? 20 minutes? It was already 4-0 for the Spurs over the Saints. I mean, they absolutely dominated them. And like you said, and I'm surprised it didn't happen, that, what's his funker? God, I'm already forgetting his name. The damn head coach.
Postecoglou?
No, for
Russell Martin.
Russell Martin wasn't fired at halftime. It was that bad.
So I heard the initial tweet that relieved him of his duties came out 20 minutes after the game.
Doesn't surprise me to hear that.
Essentially almost was fired at halftime. And the only thing I wrote, you can read it right there for the good people. Well, it almost happened again. 42 seconds, I think it took for Tottenham to score. Tottenham are a good team, right? There's no two ways about it. They have their faults, yeah? They have good attacking talent. James Maddison, we've spoken about for years. Quality fucking player, yeah? We've spoken about Richarlison has had his moments. Now, he hasn't been playing very well. He hasn't been playing much at all.
He's been hurt,
but
too.
I know. I'm just trying to go through the line. Timo Werner did very well in Germany. Made a name for himself. Has embarrassed himself in England a fair few times. Timo Werner is there and still does a lot for the team without scoring goals, right? He occupies space, stretches defenses, does a lot of stuff. You have Heung-min Son. Bad season, but for the last, 5, been fucking phenomenal. Absolutely excellent.
One of the best scorers in the Premier League.
Exactly. I think one year won the Golden Boot, actually, or close to it. Maybe was finished only second to Harry Kane, maybe. You've got Brennan Johnson, who largely has impressed, but still have questions about until this season, where he went on a run of 7 straight games of scoring or assisting, and then now in 3 hasn't done fuck all. But he was in good form. You have all of these things.
Solanke and Kowalski as well. I mean,
Kulusevski, yeah.
Kulusevski,
but you have, conversely, you have Tyler Dibbling, who scored 2. Well done this season. He's 18. We were speaking very fondly about him a few weeks ago as one that's going to get snapped up by somebody when Southampton get relegated, because it will get relegated. Definitely. But you put up a coach that doesn't have the players to play the way that he wants to play in a league that they don't belong in, against a team that high press pretty well. The reason they're not elite is because they leave themselves open at the back and they get scored on more often than they score against those big clubs. But against your shit little team,
they're going to massacre you.
And they did. Yeah. They absolutely did.
They took the foot off the gas in the second half.
Do you remember the Dane?
It should have been 9.
Do you remember the Dane Cook joke about shooting the office up?
Mm-hmm.
The reason Tottenham didn't score in the second half is because Russell Martin gave him a fucking Snickers 1 point 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They walked in and went.
Right.
Thanks for the candy.
And kept on going.
And then just walked off.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Russell Martin saved them because he gave Ange Postecoglou a Snickers 6 months ago.
And that's the only reason why they didn't.
Only reason it wasn't 9-0. Because they were absolutely fucking dog shit. He does deserve to lose his job. So, it's sad because he has a good philosophy. I like his philosophy. And it's something to be said for standing up for it, for saying we're going to play this way. I get it. I like it. But you can't do that. It's a results-based business, man.
Yeah.
You've been naive there.
100%.
He just didn't do it.
Finally, felt like a fair result, the draw, but it felt like it should have probably been 2-2 or 3-3.
Now, I promised myself I was going to look this up when we talked about it on the old FOTMobby. The stats that I use, see, it was already here, already ready to go, because I've got a total of 45 shots, 29 for Bournemouth, 16 for West Ham. On target was 9 for Bournemouth. 3 for West Ham. So 12 shots on target from 45. There were 18 corners in the game.
It was just, the game was fucking insane.
Accurate passes only totaled up to be 636. Both teams registered under an 80% positive completion rate.
It was such a crazy game for
fucking
the
intense.
for the first goal to happen in the 88th minute.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching. I'm like, how is this not
What is
3-3
happening?
already?
Yeah.
Like,
That's why, like, Smokey talks all this fucking shit about Flapiansky and all this stuff. You fucking build that man a statue, you cunt.
he played his ass off.
He saved Lopetegui his job. Lopetegui should be paying for that fucking statue outside the London Stadium. Fabianski was excellent in that game.
Hands down a handball for Tyler Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't throw the arm up in the air. The arm
Sure
goes in
can't.
the air, it's gonna be a handball every single time.
Agree.
Does not matter if you're turning away. It's gonna be a handball.
Totally agree.
And there it was, smash and grab, all ready for West Ham, and then Unal does it again.
Oh, yeah.
That free kick.
It's a fucking phenomenal goal as well.
What's Fabianski
Phenomenal
supposed to
goal.
do? That's one of those ones where, like, in my old keeping days, where you have a game like that and you get scored on like that at the end, where you just look at your team and you're, what?
What do you want me to do? Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
And then all of us look back at you and go, your job.
yeah. That was my
Fucking save it, cunt.
my junior year in high school. We had a game against Lars's alma mater. Not when Lars was there, obviously. We're separated by a few years.
It's a fair few years.
But
Come on.
they
You may
were
have the same aesthetic.
playing Glenelg, and we're up 1-0. I've made damn near close to a dozen saves. I save a penalty. On the ensuing corner, the guy that took the penalty got left wide open on the back post by himself and tapped it in the back of the net. When we got on the bus, coach told me I'm the last one to get on the bus. And I'm standing outside the bus. He's fucking screaming at the entire team. And he goes, get on. And I start to get on the bus. He goes, you all fucking apologize to him. And I had to walk to the back of the bus. Everybody's like, sorry, dude.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, that's one of those kind of games. That's how it should have been for Fabianski. Everybody at the end of the game should have been, dude,
Sorry about it.
sorry, man.
Sorry about it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sure money.
It happened again. It happened again. Sam lost a bet. It's happened again. I'm down 1,500. Sammy, why don't you tell us what you did? Excuse me. Before I tell you what I'm going to do.
All right. So here's the thing. I told you that if I missed the bet because it was all the favorites, I'd be in a very happy mood because it meant people fucked off. I didn't expect 3 of the 4 to fuck off because Arsenal, Liverpool, and City all fucked off for me.
It. Yeah.
So I am up $95.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Did you know, Mr. Graham? Round number 20% of the time.
Oh,
it
nice.
works 100% of
there
the
you go.
time, baby.
I like a round number.
That's 1 out of 5.
Yeah. 4 out of 15. No.
3 out of
3 out of
15.
15.
3 out of 15.
3 out of 15.
Very good.
Nice.
I'm going to take 2.
It's still bad, dude. You know that, right?
Better than you. That's all that matters in this
Yeah,
game.
it's good.
Is
Yeah.
be better than you. It's all I have to do.
You have just as much skin in the game for mine and Rob's girls' college as we do.
It's true.
And you're just pissing it away as well.
Yeah, I'll be dead soon enough.
We both might be, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you're about to have a 4th daughter.
I know,
Yes,
it's bad.
That heart
And the
attack's
old
right around
pair,
the corner.
fuck me.
It's all over for you.
I'm in super trouble.
I'm taking 2 home sides with tough matches. I'm going to go with Brentford over Forest simply because they're at home, because Brentford loves to play well at home. And I'm going to take Leicester over Wolves at plus 462.
Ooh, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, I
That second leg of that. The first one I agree with. The second leg of that is that's a deep cut.
Yeah, I'm not sure Wolves are going to have themselves figured out. There won't be a new manager.
It could be a Cunha. So here's the other
manager.
thing. We failed to bring this up during the game. Do you see the afters with Mateus Cunha and some Ipswich staff?
No, I did not.
There seemed to be some sort of man wearing an Ipswich coat who had some glasses on. This is relevant for a reason. There was a bit of a bust up. Mateus Cunha apparently punched a dude in the back of the head, took a swing, took a swipe, did something. Glasses flew off his head. I heard one pundit make a joke that the geezer didn't do anything back or didn't do anything untoward, supposedly, other than whatever he said prior to making Mateus do that. But one of the things he said was that the guy obviously lost his glasses. It flew off his head. He said the hardest thing that geezer could have done was take glasses out of his pocket and put it back on his face. Just like, I got a backup, bitch. Because Cunha didn't do that much damage. So it just would have been just added like insult to injury.
I'm all right.
But yeah, Cunha could face retrospective action and be out for a few
that would hurt him.
because
that would
of
definitely hurt him.
this supposed fight. All right, so what I've done here is
9-way parlay.
it's only 5. So I've got Villa or draw with City. Villa at home. City are playing like shit.
Don't disagree with that.
Villa are playing like shit, but less shit. Mm-hmm. To be honest,
I don't disagree with that
they've
thought
been
at all.
finding a way where City look all over the fucking place, and Villa have their building behind them. Mm-hmm. So I went for the double chance. I wanted to do a Villa win, but I went for the double chance just to be safe. Mm-hmm. Brentford or draw with Forest. Forest are playing well enough that I'm nervous that they'll nick something, but you're absolutely correct, and this is where I said I agree with you a bit. Brentford are excellent at home.
Yeah.
That's where they've built their bees.
Yeah. Their hive.
The hot, yeah, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted. But Forest have been in good nick, so I am worried they might snatch something like a 1-1. So I went for the double chance there. Brentford or draw with Forest. Newcastle to win at Ipswich. I think Ipswich will be coming off. They'll be flying high. They'll be excited. Newcastle have too much for them.
Yeah,
There's just no chance they get that. Brighton to win at West Ham. I think they're going to want to bounce back. They didn't play ridiculously poorly in that
they played well.
M23 derby.
Yeah.
West Ham still aren't good. I think Brighton are going to look to set this right, and I think they'll win at West Ham. And then I think the same thing for Arsenal to beat Palace in my last leg of this parlay. I think Arsenal rue their missed opportunity, especially with the points dropped by other clubs. And Arteta's going to be drilling them hard this week, and make sure they beat Crystal Palace at the weekend. That garners me a plus 1338 if all those things hit.
So you'd still be in the red.
Yeah, I would still be in the red, but it'd be a hell of a lot closer.
Okay. Very good. I'm going to handle
That's
that.
all that matters.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, any parting words?
I don't think so. Was there anybody that was dickheads?
Not that I know of, other than Mateus Cunha hitting a senior citizen, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
I
about
don't
it for
think there
me.
was either, to be honest. I think that's everything. Yeah, I don't think there's a count this week.
All right.
Really don't.
Next up is DU Does EFL, where we're going to talk about the rest of English football. And then, of course, after that is Injury Time, where we talk about the beers we've been drinking, we recap our fantasy teams, talk a little bit about our adopted clubs, and preview the weekend's action. DU Does the EFL is completely free to you, but if you want to help support the show, how do you go about doing that, Mr. Graham?
Very simple. It's patreon.com/DU Football Show. Just sign up at one $5 tier, and you'll get all the extra content that Sam just spoke about. Or just stay on the stream, and you'll get the EFL show if that's all you want to listen to for whatever reason. Because you're missing out. I mean, you should sign up to the Patreon, to be honest.
No.
Patreon.com/DU Football Show.
There is one last thought.
Also join the closed Facebook group. A lot of bants there. Had a lot of good bants this weekend as well. A lot of fun with everybody in there talking absolute bollocks. Drunkard United FC on Facebook. Excuse me.
Speaking of cunts, are you aware that your next live show will happen on Festivus?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Taylor, be ready. Shore Billy, be ready. I have some grievances.
Yeah.
If you are,
And if you fancy yourself, I'm down for a feats of strength, cunt. Drive your ass over here.
if you are watching us on the live, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back for the EFL show. And the one thing we forgot to do, Mr. Graham, is you talked about how Wolves loves Portuguese. I mean, we can always
Didn't bring to the game not just the basics of football, I believe the basics of life.
You know what I think is an underrated link? I think he wants to get the fuck out of Trabzonspor or whoever he's managing over there. There's been no bigger come and get me plea than I'd love to manage England again, but I'm here for the next 2 years and nobody could pry me away from this club. So it's like, please pay my buyout. Somebody come
Like
get
we
me.
say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese.
And that cheese needs to pay the big cheese so I can fuck off to the good cheese.
Till next week, everybody.
Good night.
All right, quick break. Come back to EFL.